Good morning to all. Today we have discussed about table driven routing protocol. Okay, so the examples of the table driven routing protocols are, first one is Dsdb, so that is a distance vector routing protocol, and second one is WRP, so that is a wireless routing protocol, and third one is CGSR, so that is cluster head gateway switch routing protocols. So these are the several examples for the table driven routing protocol. So first one, DSDV, so that is a destination sequenced distance vector routing protocol we are discussed. So this is a DSDV is one of the first protocol proposed for ad hoc wireless network for a routing purpose. Okay, so this is the enhanced version of distributed Bell-Manford algorithm. Okay, and each node can maintain a tabular information for the shortest distance. Okay, for the shortest distance for the each and every node in the table. Okay, so here a shortest path we can maintain the each and every node. Okay, so that is the main intention for the DSDV algorithm. So the operation is discussed here by seeing this diagram. So this is the source net, this is the one of the ad hoc wireless network. So in this ad hoc wireless network, the source ID is 1 and destination ID is 15. So suppose the packet can reach from source ID 1 to destination ID 15. So in the source ID 1 can maintain the and distance and sequence number. That source ID 1, we can start the source ID 1. So now node 1 can reach to node 2, our destination is 2, and the next node is, so this node 2 is directly connected to node 1, so then directly we return as next node is 2, so distance is 1. So like this destination is, next node is 3, so our destination is 3, our next node is 2, so suppose we can reach the node 3 via node 2. Okay, that is the meaning. So then distance between 1 and 3 is 2, so that is 2 edges. Okay, that is nothing but 2 edges, and sequence number is generated by randomly. Okay, whatever the number. Okay, and suppose for example our destination is 8. Suppose our example, let us take our example, our destination is 8. So to reach the 8, so 8 from 1, so from 1 the next node is 5, so that so in the 8 the next node is written as 5. So the path, that is the distance from source node 1 to 8 is 3, so that's why the distance we can write the distance is 3, that is 1 to 5, 5 to 4, that is 1 to 5, 5 to 4, 4 to 8, this is the 3 distance. So that is we can this is the way we can fill this table, and sequence number we generate automatically. Okay, so now our destination is 15, suppose our destination is 15, so that our next node is 5, so that the meaning of this is, so we reach the 15 so via 5, so suppose the distance is 4, that is 1 to 5 1 distance, 5 to 4, 4 to 12, and 12 to 15. So total edges included to reach the source to destination is 4 edges. So that is nothing but the distance between the source node to destination node. So this is the way to reach the destination to a particular packet in the DSDB algorithm. So in this algorithm, suppose we want to break the one path, suppose we want to break the path in between 10 to 11. Okay, so suppose we want to break the path in between 10 to 11, so we can update this table. So we can update this table to the corresponding row. So this corresponding row is, so in the above table the 11, so we will take the 11, so node 11 can reach the via node 10. Okay, node 10, So here the path is broken between 10 and 11, so that the corresponding row will be updated in the table like this. Okay, so this is the way how the link is broken, and each node can update its tabular information in the DSDB algorithm. Okay, like this, by using this table we can reach the destination of our packets. Okay, so this is the simple method for the destination sequenced vector routing algorithm. So and another algorithm is first we discuss the advantages and disadvantages of DSDB algorithm. So the advantages is root setup process is very fast, and another advantage is make the existing wired network protocol apply to ad hoc network with fewer modifications. These are the two advantages in DSDB algorithm. And another thing is the disadvantages. So the disadvantage is here the excessive control overhead during the high mobility. Okay, so that is the nodes are moving from one location to another location. Due to moving the nodes are one location to another location, this is a overhead mechanism, and that is a burden, more burden. So and another disadvantage is node must wait for a table update message initiated by the destination node. So frequently the tables are updated. Why? Because the even one link is broken, the table are updated. Okay, so table updation is initiated by our destination table. So this is the advantages and disadvantages in DSDB routing protocol. Okay, this is the first routing protocol, and second one is wireless routing protocol. So this is second one is wireless routing protocol. This is also similar to DSDB, but it uses multiple tables for routing protocol. Okay, previously only we can use the one routing table, that is one routing table is maintained by each and every node. But in the case of wireless routing protocol, we can use the multiple routing tables. Okay, those routing tables are updated and maintained frequently. So those routing tables are, there are 4 routing tables. One is distance table, another is routing table, another is link cost table, another is message retransmission table. Okay, so the distance table contains the distance and predecessor node for a destination, and routing table contains the shortest distance, predecessor node, successor node, and status of a path. And link cost table contains the cost of relaying messages through each link. Okay, and message retransmission table contains the retransmitted with a counter. So these are the 4 tables we can maintain the each and every node in the wireless routing table. Okay, so now operation. Now we will discuss the operation of the wireless routing protocol. Okay, so now here we can maintain the cost. So we can maintain the cost. Okay, that cost will denoted as a denoted as a weight in the each and every path. Okay, suppose we can reach the 1 to source node 1 to destination node 2, the cost is 3, like this. So now we can maintain the destination routing entry at each node. Okay, suppose here the node the node 1 is source node and destination node is 15. So here the destination node we can maintain this type of tabular information. Okay, so this type of tabular information, suppose the node in this tabular information consists of node, next node, and predecessor and cost. So the node is 15. So the 15 to 15 node cost is, so next node is 15 and predecessor is 15 and cost is 0. Suppose we want to reach the node 15 to node 14. So node 14 is the adjacent to the node 15. So that next node is 15 and predecessor is also 14, predecessor 14 and cost is 5. So suppose we want to reach the node 10 from 15. So node 10 from 15. So node 10 from 15 reaches via next node is 4. So next node is 4. So that means 15 to 12, 12 to 4, 4 to 10. So 15. So that is the way to reach the node 10 from 15. Okay. So the cost is, we can reach the directly. Suppose we calculate the cost of different paths. 15 to 12, 12 to 10, the cost is 13. So suppose we reach in this way, so that is 15 to 12, that is 4, and 12 to 4, that is 3, 4 to 10, that is 4 plus 3 plus 1, that is total cost is 8. So this is the least cost, that's why we reached 10 in this way. So like this the tabular, the routing table, we can maintain the each and every information, okay, in the wireless routing protocol. So in this wireless routing protocol, which is the best cost, that is the minimum cost we can reach the destination. Okay, suppose here the problem is if any one link is failure, so the link is between 12 to 15. So 12 to 15 link is broken. So whatever the predecessor using 12, so all these entries are modified. Okay, so suppose the link between 12 to 15 link is failure. So whatever the node using in the 12 in the predecessor column, so all those nodes are updated. So that is the way we are updating the routing table. So then next discussed in the advantages and disadvantages of wireless routing protocol. So in the advantages are same as Dsdb. So that is whatever the advantages we are in the Dsdb, the same advantages in Dsdb here also. So and also here the faster convergence, fewer table updates. So this is the another advantage. So disadvantage is more memory and greater computing power due to multiple tables. Okay, so ఈ multiple tables మెయింటైన్ చేస్తున్నాం కాబట్టి సో greater computing power and also large amount of memory we can maintain. So and also in this high mobility, whenever high mobility is occur, the overhead of updating all these table entry. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of wireless routing protocol. So and the next protocol is cluster head gateway switch routing protocol. So in the cluster head gateway switch routing protocol is a hierarchical topology based on the cluster. So ante these are the hierarchical topology based on the cluster. So this is explained. So here we have explained how these protocols are working. So that is nothing but how these protocols are transferred the packet from one location to another location. We have to discuss it here. So this is the cluster head gateway switch routing protocol, CGSR. So here the nodes are classified into three types. One is cluster heads denoted as blue colors, and next cluster gateways. So cluster gateways denoted as some gray color. So and cluster member nodes. So those are the three types of nodes. One is cluster head, another is cluster gateways, another is cluster members. So cluster head, the functionality of the cluster head is, so we can maintain the all the nodes within that cluster. Okay, so here the cluster means there is a circle. So all network can be all the network can be divided into a different clusters. Okay, so each cluster can be denoted as a one big circle. Okay, within that cluster there are three nodes. So that is cluster head, cluster gateway, and cluster members. Okay, so here the cluster head functionalities are, so cluster head will monitor all the nodes within the cluster. Okay, so in this example the cluster heads are 6, 5, 1, 2, 3. So these are the 5 cluster heads. So in this example the cluster head 6 will monitor or transfers the messages to the cluster members. Okay, so those are the nodes 6 will handle or monitor the cluster members as well as cluster gateways. Okay, so then another nodes are cluster gateways. So these are the nodes, these are the these are the nodes which belonging to one or more clusters. Okay, so suppose in this example 12 and 17. So 12 and 17s are the cluster gateways in between the whatever the head in the cluster 5 as well as head cluster 6. And the functionality of these cluster gateways are we can exchange of information or we can transfer the information to the another cluster head. Okay, that is nothing but adjacent cluster head. Okay, so cluster heads, cluster gateways are transfers the data to the adjacent cluster heads. Okay, so that is the main function of the cluster gateway members. So these cluster members only belonging to a particular cluster only. Suppose let us take cluster, that is cluster head is 6. So in this cluster head the cluster members are 9 and 10, sorry 9 and 11. So and the cluster gateway nodes are 12, 17 and 10. Okay, suppose we want to transfer the data from node 11 to node 16. So node 11 which belonging to 6th cluster, so that is the cluster head name is 6th. Suppose this 11 will transfer the data. First of all, this 11 is a cluster member node. This cluster member node is transfers the data to a cluster head. So cluster head to transfers the this data to a cluster gateway which is nearest to the our destination node. So that here in this example our cluster head 6 is transfers the data 12. Okay, so again the 12 is a cluster gateway. This cluster gateway is transfers the data to the another cluster head, so which belonging to the our destination or nearest to the our destination. So that the 12 will transfers the data 5. So as well as this 5 is directly 5 is a our destination is 16. So 16 is the one of the cluster gateway which is belonging to the cluster head 5. So this 5 is transfers the data to the cluster gateway node, that is 16. So like this we can transfer the data in cluster head gateway switch routing protocol. Okay, so this is the way to transfer the packet in the cluster head gateway switch routing protocol. Here the advantages is better bandwidth utilization. So here the advantage is better bandwidth utilization, and another advantage is easy to implement priority scheduling scheme. So okay, disadvantage is increase in path length, and another one is instability when cluster head or high mobility. So that is the one more disadvantage. So and another one is battery draining rate at cluster head is more than the normal node. Okay, so here another important point is here the choosing of cluster head. So how to choose the cluster head means so that cluster head is a center and we can connect the all the nodes within the cluster. So we can choose like this. We can choose the choose like this in the cluster head. So here the cluster head can access or can utilize the more power than the normal nodes. Okay, that is the disadvantage of cluster head gateway switch routing protocol. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of CGSR. So this is table driven routing protocols.